Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your boy, the one and only VJ. I am here to talk about, and I have been dreading talking about The Last of Us 2. There will be no spoilers in this video for the ones who have not completed the game. I got a couple of friends who haven't completed it. But for the ones who have completed it, the hardcore fans of the series, I'm pretty sure you feel my pain right now. Now, I'm just going to get this out the way. Overall, the game is a masterpiece. When we're talking somebody who probably isn't a hardcore fan like us, who have never played the first one and became really emotionally attached to it, basically. Bottom line is just, number one was a really good story, man. It just was. And what's crazy is you don't really realize how important support characters are until you get to a sequel. And this is why I say this. Now, in Last of Us Part 2, for the ones who have played it, to this point, you realize that we play as not only just Ellie. This chick will not be named in this video because I have a beef with her. I do. I really do. We ain't gonna talk about the fact that this bitch built like a goddamn silverback. We gonna leave that alone. Alright? We gonna leave it alone. And I don't need no hate comments and shit like that. Oh, you don't like buff female. It ain't about that. Okay? It's a video game first and foremost. I don't like the character. She know what she did. Okay? Anyway. The game or the direction that Neil, he is the director of the game, he writes stories, I write stories. I do music myself, so I know a thing or two about writing stories, and I've watched enough films and played enough video games that are very story driven to know a thing or two about what you should and shouldn't do. Now look, when we're talking about, I feel like we kind of got played a little bit, because I think, even take the cover of Last of Us 2 and how Ellie looks. She looked ice cold. She looked ruthless. I'm going to tell you something. I did not really appreciate a halfway ass ruthless Ellie. I love Ellie. Ellie was a badass in the first game. Straight up. Example, when she saved Joel and shot dude in the head, she literally was like, damn, I shot the shit out of that guy, didn't I? She's 14, bruh. And this is Last of Us 2 takes place 4 years later. She's 18 now. Give or take. She might be 18, 19, because we don't really know. But that's why I fell in love with Ellie. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. I mean, it kind of set it up that way. It's almost reminiscent of The Walking Dead, Telltale, with Clementine. How, Lee basically passed the torch to Clementine in the most fucked up way possible. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. In the most messed up way possible. But with Last of Us 2, if I'm going to believe that the plight is basically forgiveness, they missed the mark. Neil, you missed it. You kind of missed the mark a little bit, bruh. And the reason why you missed it is because, it's because of how the villain is written, I guess you could say. I'm thinking she had 4 years. If we're to believe that the plight is forgiveness, she had 4 years to forgive what took place at the end of number 1. Like I said, I'm not about to put any spoilers in here. The people who have played it, for the majority, you know what I'm talking about. She had 4 years. So once we get to the part where they finally confront each other, where Ellie and the chick that should not be named confront each other, I was pissed. I was pissed off. They had me play as the chick that I didn't want to play as. It made me mad. Prior to that, she's a hypocrite because she got on to Ellie about not letting something go, basically, in a nutshell. And I'm thinking, who the hell is you? You had 4 years to let some shit go and you didn't. You gave Ellie like what? A couple, like if we're to believe that her journey to Seattle took months, I mean, you're on horseback or you're walking. So it's going to take you a little time to get there. You gave her a short, limited time to really forgive the shit that you did. But we ain't going to talk about that. It's not, the direction was it's basically vengeance. It's basically a revenge game, bro. And I didn't get it. Like, this isn't the game where trying to sympathize with the villain is really needed, because you can't, especially the way that you started it. You can't use the direction of sympathizing with a villain in this situation. Now, I will say this. Overall, me personally, I think the story is set up fine. But back to my point because I never really finished the point of what I meant when I say support characters are important. We didn't necessarily need Bill, Sam, and Henry, but Tess is very, very pivotal in this situation, I feel like. You go back and you look at how Tess handled Robert. Come on, son. Tess is the epitome of ruthless. For those who don't know, she got the obviously it's deeper. There's a reason why, her and Joel was chasing after Robert in the first place. He kind of screwed them over big time. But when she got the information and location for where the guns were, or who had them rather, she executed dude without hesitation. Quick. Very quick. Popped him. Blow. Out of there. That boy out of there. So I'm thinking to myself, bro, not so much a motherly role, because I just don't see Tess as that type of character. But she could have literally had some type of effect, or at least taught Ellie how to completely go all the way ruthless. And the reason I say that, and for, like, once again, the people who have played it, you know what I mean? Like, there was moments where Ellie was just, it's almost like she's sympathetic in a way. Like, and I get it. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I've killed somebody before. I'm not going to sit up here and say that. But when I'm thinking about how you portrayed her in the first game, she's 14. She shot a guy. It didn't really have, if you notice in that scene, it didn't really have much of an effect. She was trying to save Joel in that situation. And she didn't really hesitate when she did it. And I'm thinking, how do you get older and you've dealt with so much crap? Over time, when you repetitively do something, especially something like that with murder, I can't really attest to it, but I'm thinking just in the gaming world, I would think it gets easier. Like, I would think if your character is growing up in a post-apocalyptic setting and she has to kill people to survive and things like that, it shouldn't be half-weighed, in my opinion. Especially, once again, Neil, with what you decided to do at the beginning of this game. Because let's be real here. To all my hardcore fans, if Tess was in this game, she would have burned Seattle to the damn ground. She would have told Seattle, oh my God, that would have made for a great revenge story. Like, that's why I think Tess is pivotal in this. Overall, there was a lot of people who, they criticized it early on about, with Ellie and her relationship, like her sexuality. I was like, really, bro? Seriously? Like, come on, bro. Come on. But I don't know, man. It's a good game. It is. It's very good. It's it's by far one of the best games I've ever hated in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it could have been different, bro. Like, if they did everything the same, every single thing, from the beginning to all of it, you should have had Tess in it. You really should have. If Ellie was going to be sympathetic at any point in time, like, she going to be ruthless one minute and then sympathetic and kind of worry about, you should have had Tess in it. Because it literally could have led up to a point where we finally get to our destination and we finally get to the conclusion. And now it's Ellie trying to sway Tess into forgiving, if you want to say it, if you want to do that, especially if you was going to go in this direction, because it just didn't. For one, it's also important to have characters who are familiar. Like, it's important to have familiar characters. Think about it. We only ran into what? We ran into the cannibals, the Fireflies, more so Marlene. We ran into Bill, we ran into Sam, we ran into Henry. There wasn't a whole lot of, and Tommy, Joe's brother. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of rememberable characters because it was revolved around Ellie and Joel, but you could have brought some of them back. And this is my problem. One thing I don't like is predictable. I don't like predictable sequels. And I'm about to end this video because it's too long. It's way too long. I wanted to be brief. Obviously, Sony is in the business of making money. So even though right now Neil doesn't really know what direction he's going to go in, and I think he's already expressed how hard it would be to even continue it. First of all, we shouldn't have got this one. Number one, ended to where you can just imply, certain things. But once again, Sony is in the business of making money, and it was a great story, and obviously they're going to fund the sequel. I do believe that we're going to get a part 3, but this is the problem for me. Part 3 is too predictable. Now, once again, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but I will say this. We never figured out what happened to Riley. If you played the DLC, unless I missed something. Maybe I missed something. Y'all let me know. For whoever watches this and y'all played Last of Us. The DLC Left Behind with Ellie and Riley, it kind of just cut off at the end. So we don't really know what happened to Riley. I'm led to believe that Riley is the other immune. And we really don't know what happened to Ellie's mom. And then at the ending, well, I'll let y'all play it, but it ain't really, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted, bro. If they was gonna do this, if Neil was gonna go in this direction, and Neil is the director, by the way, Tess should have been in this shit, in my opinion. But y'all let me know, man. Y'all let me know if y'all beat it, how y'all feel about it. Game is good. I'm pissed like I am. And let me get off here before I spoil anything. But I'm going to holler at y'all do something. Whoa. Whoa. I'm going to holler at y'all. Deuces.